Hi, my name is Glow and welcome to my show. Today I'm reviewing Derek Minor's Dear Mr.Christian. This is a song about some really heavy stuff, but I think it's something every Christian, maybe just everyone in general, should listen to at least once, even if you don't like rap. It's a message everyone could stand to hear. Of course, that does mean anyone who isn't disturbed by this kind of content. Anyway, a lot of this could be triggering. The only other song I can think of that reaches that status of importance for me is Chris Rice's You Don't Have to Yell. Maybe I should review that next. So I originally thought the line referring to Mr. Minor meant just some kid, a minor, as in someone who's underage. But looking closer, I remembered that's the last name that the artist goes by. I wonder if that double meaning was intentional. It's clever either way. I like how this rap doesn't beat around the bush, kind of like Lecrae's Welcome to America, but Dear Mr. Christian sets the dark, bleak tone even faster. In the first line we hear about a 9-year-old being molested by their father. So at the forefront is the moral about judgment, but there's also a subtler message about how churches don't talk about heavy and complex, nuanced subjects like the porn industry, and when we do, it's in a black and white way with an angry tone that alienates the very people churches should be trying to help. Your pastor's preaching about how not to let me catch you slippin', but maybe I'm a victim. We should be praying for these people, and maybe even doing something active to try and help them, not just calling them sinners and being proud that we're not like them. Which is what I've seen most churches do. That message kind of crosses over into Lecrae's Beautiful Feet, too. The line, tatted on my arm, tatted on my face, references how we judge people by how they look as well. My favorite line is, ain't gluttony a sin while you staring at my gin, where I'm from we don't pretend, we know we ain't getting in. Wow, that's an interesting way to point out how even really good people, Christians, sin too. And so there is no reason for us to be this judgmental. There's also really good build-up to that line and that whole verse. Christians, by all means, should be the most welcoming people on earth, and yet somehow they are the most judgmental people on earth, if you ask me, and a lot of others. The only line I do have a problem with is, truth is, ironically, you need me around, though, 'cause otherwise you ain't got nobody else to look down on. That's just not true. Christians are just as judgmental towards each other, making fun of other churches, bragging about how much we give to charity, and how prosperous God has made us, and I think I've already mentioned how when people don't get healed, instead of having pity, we call them sinners. This leads into the only other minor flaw I see in this rap. Using homeless drug addicts who grew up without any guidance and underage sex workers as examples glosses over the fact that a lot of Christians and their pastors often make judgments on way dumber things. Anyone who isn't rich, people who use birth control, women, LGBTQ people, people with colored hair, people who like rock and roll, anyone who is different, anyone who disagrees with us, people who like Oprah, people who like anime, people who like anything that's actually fun, people who drink, even a little, whining about people who are even slightly late for church. I once went to a youth group that ended up closing itself off to the public just because some of the teenagers there were acting a little rowdy. That's stupid. Those are the exact kind of people we want to reach out to. It's supposed to be something for people who need help, not some exclusive club. I guess there is one or two lines about getting bullied. That is something a lot more people could relate to. Uniform dirty, dressing bummy, went to school, they called me ugly. Plus, it's depressing how many people actually can relate to all of the really dark lyrics. The music's catchy, but nothing special. I really like the panning shot in the video when it goes from the wall to the ground, and I really like the idea of lyric videos and typography. It looks cool, and you can actually see the lyrics because, I'm actually pretty good at understanding lyrics, but often there is at least one or two words I have trouble with, so it's nice to just be able to see, especially since I usually listen to music on YouTube, but there's not really anything else that special about the video, as usual. Go listen to Derek Minor's Dear Mr. Christian if you haven't. It's a song everyone needs to hear at some point. Tell me if I'm wrong.